Oh, hi, everybody.
from Mumbai.
Yeah, hi from Mumbai. Mumbai, hi. Yeah.
Last time we were in Singapore,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And we've also been to Delhi
Been to, yeah, Delhi.
since.
I just noticed that this has not. If you're not seeing this on LinkedIn, well, don't say anything because
All
there's no way you would know. But apparently, this is not streaming to LinkedIn, but
Ah,
everybody else should be getting it.
right.
So we're in Mumbai, uh, India. You having
Yeah.
fun so far?
I'm I'm having a blast.
I just heard your tummy growl. It makes me think you're hungry for more food.
Not hungry for more food.
Oh, okay.
The
You.
food has been just spicy enough that
Yeah.
I'm good right now.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
good.
You gotta temper it. You need a circuit breaker for the old
That is exactly what I need. A
the
circuit
old
breaker.
right,
I need the resilient methods
right, exactly.
enabled. Yes.
Like, oh yeah, Singapore was great because it was like, I mean, it's a great starter for any tour. Like they speak English and it's relatively uh it's very small, so you don't have to spend a lot of time in traffic, and the airport's nice, and
Singapore was easy.
it's like easy mode
Yeah, yeah.
for
Yeah.
for
First
for
year.
Asia. Yeah,
Yeah.
first gear. Just getting ramped up. Now we're in India. Love India. Everybody speaks English, of course, but the food is it requires more commitment. I love Indian food. I know you
Yep.
do too, right?
Yep.
We've been
And a little more caution.
because of the spice, right? The
Yes.
spice can be a little intense,
Yeah.
but I'd rather nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? We
We have tried new things. I've tried new things.
I have grown as a person. I've become web scale because of the amazing food here. I love the food, and but the traffic is a bit.
Tracks is a bit much.
It's a bit much.
Yeah.
It's
And
worth it though.
it's an adventure.
Yeah.
My arms are wide, so the thing that I was doing in the car, I was realizing I could put my arms out, and if the windows were open, I could have touched two other vehicles
Yeah, on both sides of the
multiple
car. Yeah,
times.
yeah.
I could have been like, "Hey,"
High five.
or
High
somebody
five.
like hanging off the side of a scooter. I can be like, "Hey, oh yeah, let me help
Yeah.
you up there a little."
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
it's been interesting.
if you yawn
Yeah,
in the car, you might have like
yeah, yeah. Make
derailed
sure
somebody.
don't
Like
want to
you
derail
could
somebody.
crash and
Yeah, you have to honk before
yeah,
you
yeah,
yawn.
yeah, yeah. It's a. But I love. So anyway, it's been a lot of fun, and we've been talking to a lot of organizations here, doing like crazy cool things. Um,
Cra- yes, crazy cool things.
yeah,
And at a very different scale than what we or what I've been talking to a lot. Like it's amazing.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, the scope and the scale of some of the projects.
One of the things I always like, I love India because so much of the software that is written here is obviously there's a lot of stuff happening for India here, but so much of it is also for overseas.
Yeah,
And so if you can impress the right people here, you might help a whole organization
yeah.
hosted in other countries get better at software as well.
The one of the fun things about this trip is we're here seeing certain organizations, certain teams,
Yeah.
and as we've been here, I shouldn't be surprised, but the number of our teammates, our coworkers, have called and said like, "Hey, can you swing by this company
Right.
and this company and this?" And the list goes on and on. There are so many companies that have teams here in India. I think it's probably there's more companies that I work with that have teams here in India than the
Then
ones
we
that
have
don't.
yeah, yeah, sure. I mean, this is a huge haven. It's
Yeah,
a center for R&D and so on. So
and there's
it's just been great.
10 or so cities where we have teams that we're working with.
Right.
So yeah,
Only 3 cities in this tour, sadly.
only three in this tour.
And that's a bummer because I just feel like, this traffic being what it is, if we could spend another 5 weeks, we'd probably still not be able to hit every city that we wanted to
I
and every
think
customer.
I think 4 weeks in India would be
Delicious.
like a sweet spot, right? That'd be
Oh,
enough time to be here and to see enough customers
yeah.
and communities. So
That's it. That's the other thing. We did the Delhi jug with our friend Mala Gupta.
that was amazing.
That was so much fun, right? And again, I've said this before. I'm sure you agree. Anytime you can speak at a job user group and talk to people who have decided at the end of their day to not go home and see their loved ones,
Right.
but to instead go hang out with you and me while hungry for a real dinner,
That's pretty
right?
awesome.
These are people that are like they want to be there. They've self-selected. None of their bosses told them they had to sit in on this meeting. There was no
Yeah.
like strategic decision memo issued by as an edict from on high or whatever. There's none of that. These are just people who chose to hang out with us, and the room was full.
And
People were
and there
super
were
nice.
great questions,
Great
great
questions.
conversations,
Yeah.
always fun. Our presentations were all right, but yeah, the
Yeah, that's
conversations
okay.
in the audience was absolutely amazing, and the hosts were amazing.
The best.
Yeah.
So I just that was a lot of fun as well. That was in Delhi. We did that
Yes.
Monday,
Monday.
and it is Wednesday,
Yes.
and we are in
Now
Mumbai, and
we
you
have
know,
more events, more community events.
and we can't we're on the what are we doing tonight actually?
The Open Source Summit is here. We're not
Yeah.
partaking in that. There's
No.
also a VKS community event that's going on today.
Super good.
We are going to go to kind of one of the, I think, a spin-off event of the Open Source Summit. It's called Open Circle.
So good.
So we're going to go meet with some of the, I think, key folks in the open source community here in
Right.
Mumbai.
Hopefully.
And we're going to meet with Ram,
Ram,
who's definitely
Cloud
amazing
Foundry.
Cloud Foundry
Yeah.
developer advocate.
Love that.
So yeah, it's going to be a good time.
Gonna be great. I mean, that's great. And that's just today.
That's just today.
We're chilling in the hotel, avoiding the 92-degree cool weather.
I would have said swelter.
Sweltering. Yeah, but
it's hot and humid.
Yeah,
it's
intense. It's
yeah,
much. It's
and
a
the sun
little
is
extra.
out. The sun is out. There's a little bit of
Yeah.
wind, I think, is the only
Right.
that makes it bearable.
I saw this. We're what are we, 20 levels up or whatever off the pool, but you know, it's
Yeah.
I can see that pool moving, but it's still like maybe it's boiling. I don't know. It's just there's activity on the surface. I don't know. Anyway, we're here. It's been kind of interesting because you and I have done a few demos this week where we started the demo on Spring Boot 4 and finished it on 4.1.
4.1.
Because like in the span of a few hours, they're doing releases, right?
4.1 came out in the middle of the day. We're the same demo that we ran in the morning, in the afternoon. Like, there's 4.1.
4.1, so nice. And this is what I kind of wanted to talk to you about because we've been going to these organizations. There's a smattering of nice features, as there always are with a new release. There's the new gRPC integration that is basically a grafting of the Spring gRPC project into Spring Boot so that gets managed by and then lives with, resident with the Spring Boot project. There's the Spring Data stuff.
There's a bunch of new adapters and integrations with data and specifically the messaging. I think Spring Data Kafka had quite a few updates.
Right.
Also some for Redis, and RabbitMQ had quite a few updates as well.
So some good stuff. And then I won't pretend to be able to give you the change log. Just go read those. But
yeah,
one of the things that you will notice is that maybe the number of net new features is just slightly below where you might have expected it to be, especially given that it is June as we record this, June 17th, 2026, and we just talked about doing updates to having updates trickle into our demo whilst we were doing those demos in recent days. What that means is those releases came out a month later than perhaps most people are expecting.
They did a month later, almost a month later. So one of the great things about the Java community is that consistent release cadence.
Yeah.
Every 6 months. Like we know it. We're going to celebrate when it comes out, and we get early access. So we know, like, hey, we can try it out before it comes. That's been massive.
So good.
Benefit for the Java community. Spring also has this consistent release cadence for decades. Right? Hey, we've been doing this kind of regular cadence. I guess the Spring Boot release cadence train changed in the early 2010s, but it's still been consistent to try to keep up, I guess, or align with the Java community.
Right.
And for months on the Spring office hours, we were saying like, hey, May 21st, that's when Spring Boot 4.1 is going to come.
It's the day.
Looking forward to it. Even scheduled a show with, or a release party with Phil Webb.
Right.
But
it wasn't to be.
But yeah, it was not to be. On May 11th, when the release train was supposed to start, we saw a blog post from Michael Manella, who leads the OSS team for Spring, and saying, hey, we're going to delay it, and we are going to push it back from May 11th start to a June 1st start. And then on June 1st, we got another blog post from Michael Manella, but basically saying, hey, like, things have changed. I think it was titled Security with Spring in the Times of AI.
Yeah, that was June 11th. Yeah.
And he said, hey, we're gonna push it back to June 8th.
Yeah.
But also in those blog posts, the what used to be a 2-week release train got compressed to 1 week. So as we push back in that second blog post on June 1st, he said, like, hey, here's the reason. There's been so many CVEs, right? Everybody has these AI tools, and these CVEs have been made available, and we've been using them too. So we found some things that we wanted to fix. Our community found some things that they wanted to have fixed, and we got all these security advisories, and our our team, our leadership said, hey, we would rather secure the things that are out there being used by millions. We'd rather secure those things than deliver new features, which is almost unheard of,
Right.
From like the people that we speak with. Like, oh, I got to focus on the feature. I can't worry about patching things.
Right.
Oh, I've been playing in this space where trying to fix that. Like, I understand you've got to deliver new features, but the security piece kind of has to come first. So,
Right. Huge. And am I hallucinating? You correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm hallucinating like the AI models, but uh, General Manager Miss Padmanabhan
yeah,
did a blog, and did she say something like 1,700%?
yes,
Did I see that number?
the
Or did I make
increase
that up?
in CVEs has been orders of magnitude.
Orders of magnitude.
We had more CVEs released, published last Monday than we did the entire year of 2025.
Yeah. In 1 month, you say.
In one day.
1 day. Right, right.
In
So
one day.
what is it for? What usually it's like how many
1.5
CVs
per month was like the average going back to 2013.
And it was just many more than that now.
Starting in
Just
February.
actually, last week when we were in Singapore, we started. It was like 22 on the first day or something.
23 on Monday,
Yeah.
and I think when I checked on Wednesday, it was in the 70s.
Started tallying up.
Yeah.
It wasn't 70 just that day. But it was
Yeah, because
yeah.
the releases come the way that the spring team handles things. As they release things that have CD fixes in them,
Yeah.
they release the patches first. Then they publish the CVEs.
Right.
So that the community can have those fixes first.
Right. So you should be updating. You've got automation. We're hoping you've got automation, and you're getting notified and immediately stopping the line.
There's
Right.
all sorts of automation out there.
Right. But I mean, just generally, like Toyota, if there's a defect, you stop the line.
Yes.
You prioritize fixing the defect.
Yes.
And so I mean, just in a very conceptual level, I hope people are stopping whatever they're doing and prioritizing getting an update day. As soon as you've got a notification, do that now, because these CVEs don't hold very well.
They're
like milk. They age poorly. The longer you let them sit, the worse it is for everybody.
Yeah, as soon as the CV is published, right, the bad actors, the people that are waiting, I say that CVE is the dinner bell for some.
Right.
And they're waiting for a new CV to be published so that they can take their automation and they can go say, hey, how do I exploit this? I've got a target over there. How do I go and take the CVE and see if they've patched it or not? And that's what they do. They've got to eat. So they're waiting for that. So, and we understand. So we put the patches first.
Right.
We give everybody a chance to patch first.
I mean,
before we publish.
And Kurt, we're begging you, please. In this release, by the way, anything incompatible or breaking relative to 4.0, I don't think there's anything dramatic, except for the people who are maybe using Spring gRPC, the auto config as you would have used it had you used it with Spring Boot 4, and then Spring gRPC as a standalone project. That auto config has now been refactored and pushed into Spring Boot, and so there you might have a slightly different surface area there. But the point is, do that. Right? Make the effort, figure that out. It won't be that big a deal. Most of the basics should just work fine, and spend time on that. And whoever this LinkedIn user is, just asked a great question.
What kind of automation?
I mean, at the most trivial level, just making sure you're looking at Dependabot and just saying, okay, I'll stop what I'm doing. My app, I got to take, I don't get to go home until this is fixed. But is there an automatic way to do those upgrades?
Yeah. So what I see out there, I see Dependabot, I see Renovate, Refaster being used, Open Rewrite, of course. Our friend Thomas Vitale made a CLI called Arconia that wraps Open Rewrite recipes that you can put into your automation, or you can run it at scale. And for our commercial customers, for people that have, like, they've paid for Spring Enterprise support, there's a tool from the Spring team that is, we call it Application Advisor, that wraps up those recipes as well. And those recipes are from the Spring team. So there's tons of options that are out there.
So as opposed to the open source ones that are in Open Rewrite.
Yes.
Okay. And that's important because I know our team is first of all very busy. It's like one of the most busy GChat channels in our internal communication structures, because they're always doing cool stuff, right? These recipes are deployed as soon as possible after the releases.
Yes.
And so they're inspired by feedback and sort of input from the Spring team.
From the Spring team.
Nobody's going to know better how to safely migrate from one version and 10+1 than the Spring team themselves.
And those recipes go back and they cover the entire portfolio, right? Spring's got 60 plus projects and they cover the entire portfolio
across all the supported revisions too, right?
Yeah.
And it's not just it's one of the things I liked about it, and that you highlight all the time, is that it's predictable and safe.
Predictable and safe.
Yeah.
There's no AI involved.
Yes,
Right.
That's predictable.
Deterministic. Yep.
Bit, right.
Results. I spend a lot of time there. I work with teams. And one of the things yesterday we were driving to one of our events, and I got a message saying that a new
somebody else was driving. We were holding on.
We were holding on like, with everything.
Our kids are with us. We're like, oh, it's okay. Don't cry. Yeah. Okay.
And I was checking my email because it was a long drive. I mean, it was only like 10 miles, but it was a long time of the drive. And
there were a few minutes on that road where I was having kittens. I was like so scared, like I'm already like as off white as you can get, and I got white. That's white knuckle driving, and I wasn't even driving. Anyway, I'm fine.
I got a message. Right. I work with teams and help them deliver automation, and as they are doing it right, you just kind of a little process like, hey, we'll try it out, we'll make sure it works. Oh, we got to get our keys and our certs and stuff in place. But I got a message yesterday from a team that their leadership, because of all the CVs from last week, their leadership said it's not a opt-in, right? Teams aren't going to like sign up to do this. It's an opt-out. So this team and this org, they use this automation across all of their portfolios.
Isn't that something?
And so they started on Monday. Today's Wednesday. Yeah, they started on Monday with this like opt-out approach.
Right.
And the message I got yesterday, it had over 1,000 repositories were getting updated with this automation already.
So they're living the N-0.
They're living that N-0.
Right.
Get to the latest and greatest as fast.
And staying there.
That's what I mean.
You would have to
N-0, be on the latest and greatest.
And you'd have to dislodge them. Yes. They don't have to get there. You would have to dislodge them to stop them from staying there because they're already there. That's the way to go. Those people are going to go home and not worry.
And I'm biased. Yeah. I play in the spot. I'm biased on the whole upgrade process in that the software that we're taking to production, it's not like the bits fall apart, right? It's that there's care and feeding.
Yeah.
The getting to production is amazing.
Right.
Staying in production is important. But there's some responsibility there.
Right.
And a lot of that responsibility lies on the developers.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. So I'm a huge fan. That works. That works because people are doing the right thing. They're actually actively adding this automation.
Yeah.
We're hoping you'll use Advisor. Obviously, the Advisor. It really works. It's automation. It'll help you automatically migrate your code.
Yeah.
And remember, we are doing the work on the Spring team, and this is one of the big benefits of having a framework. By the by, right? I mean, there's more. AI has compounded, I think, the use and value and utility of a good framework.
Yes.
For two reasons. One, there is much more code being generated, and still somebody needs to be in the loop to stabilize, integrate, and then deploy that code, right?
Yes.
And so, to the extent that aesthetics are truth, that beauty is truth, that code has to be as nice and clean and concise as possible. And if there's more of it, that's ever more true, right? And so an abstraction, a nice, concise, well thought out abstraction is more valuable than ever because you're going to be looking at and reading more code than ever. Part one,
maintaining.
Yes. Yeah. And then part two, because we have, there's you just mentioned it, right? A lot of companies don't, if there's a choice between a forward-looking feature and maintenance and security, a lot of teams can't make the right choice. They have to make the forward motion. Always like sharks, they have to keep swimming, and so they can't do what they perceive as going backwards and just stop and maintain, right? And so we'll take that for you. We're a framework. We're that foundational layer. You can trust that 99% of your code, everything that is underneath your business logic, there's a whole phalanx of people focused on making that as solid as possible and secure as possible, so you can get home to dinner on time.
And one of the things that I'm seeing is this move of, hey, we got software. We're getting more software into production than ever before. One of the things that I've been seeing is organizations are trying to consolidate. They want the consistency. So we'll use AI where we can, but they want the consistency. So they want a framework. And if they're an enterprise, they also want support. So what they're doing is they're realizing, hey, we've got this landscape of all of these libraries. Why?
Right.
Why don't we just consolidate, especially on Spring when they already have support for Spring?
Right.
Consolidate Spring's portfolios.
Right.
Is amazing. It's big. There's lots of stuff in there. So they're consolidating, but it's not just that, right? It's this idea of, hey, we got to understand our inventory. We have to understand how much risk we actually have when we're bringing in things off the shelf.
Yeah.
And Spring's a little bit different. Spring's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
It is an enterprise framework. It's enterprise grade
Enterprise grade,
right?
production worthy. That's what I like to say. Because enterprise, I don't know. I like the word enterprise, but I also kind of cringe because I don't know what it means. It just sounds rock solid. In my mind, enterprise sounds bulletproof. But on the other hand, I think for a lot of people, it sounds sort of
Too big.
bureaucratic.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But when I hear enterprise and I think of spring, I think of some of the people that are contributing. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
of some of the friends that we've made
Right.
that are contributing from enterprises.
Yeah.
But I've also lived that startup life, right?
Sure. We
And
both.
I'm still it's not only enterprise grade, it's enterprise ready, enterprise grade. But yeah, it
Right.
also works for startups because
Yeah.
it's so easy to get started.
That's why. So maybe production worthy.
I like production ready.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Production ready. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. It's something you can be proud to deploy and sleep
absolutely.
at night knowing it'll do the right thing. I'm a big fan. Um,
Mhm.
I feel like somebody says I feel like enterprise means a huge code base, like 250,000 lines of code. I don't know about that. I just think it means something important, and that's not a curse.
Yeah.
Maybe it is a large amount of code, but I just think it's something that makes like if you've got an application that's been around for a few years and it's still making the organization money, that's enterprise. That's something that somebody wants to bet the enterprise on.
Yep.
Right. Uh, it doesn't have to be huge. It just
Yep.
has to be important.
Same person asked, "Did you watch the documentary about spring?"
Boy, did I.
You were in it.
I was in it.
He was in it.
I was in it. It was okay. I'm a fan. I liked it. I liked well just because I mean you and I are archaeologists,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And just to see our friends and on the team, just to see them
Yeah.
honored in that way was
If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. I'll tell you that I've watched it many, many times, and I cried on the Dr. Dave Sire part
Oh, I love
where he says, even when you're not coding with us,
Yep.
you're coding with us.
Yeah. It's a chance to pair program with the spring team.
Yeah.
It's true. Dr. Dave Sire. So and ironically they had him listed as the lead of spring batch, which was once true,
Yeah.
but it hasn't been true for a very long time. And it's sort of that's sort of like saying that Captain Kirk was once, whatever, a lieutenant and ensign. Yeah, he's like, you're not wrong, but also you're kind of missing the zenith of his arc there, because Dr. Dave Sire would go on then to co-create Spring Boot, Spring Cloud, Spring gRPC, Spring. He actually worked on the Spring, like the first thing that didn't actually end up getting used, but a Spring for Hadoop, right?
Oh, really?
Right, like many, many years ago, he worked on the OAuth stuff that now is the UAA that powers our Cloud Foundry deployments. He, I mean, and the Spring Security OAuth story before it got retrofitted and reworked in 2017, that was a separate project that he maintained. I mean, the guy is just a powerhouse. But anyway, quibbles aside, small, ridiculous little tiny insignificant quibbles that actually, people only remember the bad things. I liked it. I liked it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Siskel and Ebert, 2 thumbs up.
It was absolutely, definitely worth a watch. Definitely worth a watch. It's good.
And I love seeing our friends over at JetBrains as well.
Absolutely.
One of the things, obviously Spring is a framework, and we try and make it as ergonomically awesome as possible. Do you know why I always use IntelliJ in my presentations?
Why?
Because we have the Spring tool suite led by the legendary Martin Lippert.
Yes.
Right. And before him, Christian Dupuis, who's no longer on the team, of course, but he's legendary. And I think he's a Docker these days. Good egg. The Spring tools are first class options if you're doing Visual Studio Code and Eclipse, right? Mm-hmm. And actually anything that supports a language server. So in theory, you could do Emacs or NeoVim or whatever. All that to say, those tools super good, and we make them. We, the Spring team, are putting effort behind it, just as we do for these recipes, right? Yep. So we, tooling is a super important ambient concern, but it's definitely a concern, and it's core to the ideas of Spring. And so when we did Spring Boot, the last thing I wanted people to think was that you needed a special plugin, that you had to like upgrade your IDE to be able to play, because we, to our chagrin, we had done that to ourselves. We had made that requirement in Spring Roo. Right? You had to use our special plugin, and if that plugin didn't work, then you just weren't working with Spring Roo. That was just how that worked. Yep. So IntelliJ and Spring Roo wasn't really a thing at first because we built the Eclipse plugin, right? Yep. And so my thing was, hey, I'm going to go out of my way to show public static void main, the same thing you're using in college, right? When you're writing programs for your day one, it's exactly the same thing. No magic here, no rabbits up our sleeves. So I was like, I'm here. I'm using a plugin. I'm using an IDE that has no idea about Spring Boot. Yep. It's ready to write a Swing app. It's ready to write. I don't have any server plugins installed. I'm using open source thing. I'm not using Tomcat connectors. I'm
Yep.
not using certainly not using like WebLogic or WebSphere
Right.
connectors. Like I'm just using public static void main. And anyway, fast forward whatever it's been now, 13 plus odd years, and
Yep.
they have this like class leading integration for Spring Boot. But I started using it on stage just because it didn't.
There you
Right?
go.
So to see them in the documentary, I thought that was great.
That
They've
was
been a
good.
very great partner, just like Martin and the rest of the
Yeah.
tooling folks in our ecosystem. So anyway, back to the thing. We talked about predictable, right? I like predictable because
Yep.
you always talk about this, right? Given the same code base, you can migrate it from n to n plus 5, and it gets the same exact results every single time,
That's the idea.
right? And
Yep.
it's deterministic. Super valuable, again, in the enterprise because it's important.
Have you ever tried to go back and look at software that you wrote 2 years ago, or 2 months ago, or even 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I don't like that guy that wrote it.
The idea, I did consulting for a long time.
Yep, yep.
And when you left a project, you wanted to leave a project. You didn't want to come back, so you tried to tie up everything and put it in a nice box.
Yeah.
But that's not how software works.
Yeah.
And this idea of, hey, if I have to go back to a project, it would be really nice if I had to go back to a project that I wrote 3 years ago.
Right.
It would be really nice if that project had been maintained and kept up to date. Not even if it didn't get any new features. It would be nice if it was now running on Java 25 and Spring Boot 4.1.
Right. Yeah.
And that's it. That's
like
that's kind of the place that we're in right now.
Right.
Yeah. If you leave something running on a server, you wouldn't expect that the server didn't get any updates. You wouldn't expect that the operating system is still running on whatever Ubuntu 18.04.
Right.
Right. It's going to get upgraded, but that's somebody else's. Our responsibility as developers and engineers, I think, is to do the care and feeding of the workloads of the apps that we're taking to production.
And by the way, doesn't that small? I mean, just a psychological, maybe, is that the right word? Like, can you write code in a messy room?
I can't.
I can't either. If this room was like a mess, I'd have to set it back to right. I'd have to like clean it up or tidy up I can't write code in a messy room. I can't focus,
Yeah.
And the same thing, if I get to a project burdened with technical debt, right? Same reason. Speaking of enterprise, if I bought a company, and that company was in more debt than I had just paid for it, I'd feel very, very unhappy, right?
Yes.
And the same thing with code. If I step into a code base that's in arrears, technically, I got to tidy up. I got to fix it. It's very hard to focus on this other stuff when the paint is peeling and stuff. And
we're also because of this overlay of the open source summit that's here, and open circle that we're doing, open source projects. How many times have you went and looked at a project that hadn't had any maintenance, hadn't had any updates in months or years, and it's like, I'm gonna go ahead and move on?
Yeah.
This concept of, or this idea of keeping things up to date, we're putting things out on GitHub, hoping that somebody else will use them. But one simple way of getting somebody else to lean into your project is to keep it fresh, keep it updated, do the care and feeding, right? Whether you're taking it to production or not, somebody else might. But that idea, the way that we're delivering software, I'm certain that this is a new aspect. There's going to be a 200 level class for every computer science graduate going forward on how to keep your software current.
Yeah.
How to take care of your software.
Yeah. And I think it's important, especially, and again, so predictable. And then safe. And this is the important part.
Secure.
So because here's what I always say. Like you've got a fork in the road. Either you let the code stay where it is, subject to the forces of entropy and the heat death of the universe.
Yep.
Eventually, or you maintain, and you might hit bumps in the road if you maintain. You for sure 100% guaranteed will if you don't maintain, right?
Yes.
And so I don't know why it's hard for people to make the decision to embrace change. That said, there are sometimes bumps in the road.
Yep. Even
with Spring, which has the best track record probably of any open source project for backwards compatibility. I'm not just talking about the Java ecosystem. I mean, literally any open source project that is used by more than a couple people, out there. And the reason it's so good is because we deeply care about that. But we're allowed to break things on major versions, and we do on occasion for the better, or we start a deprecation cycle with generous phase out timelines, right?
But even when we do,
though, things change sometimes, and so how do you get code to the latest version without compromising on compatibility, without breaking? How do you do it so safely?
You deliver a recipe that says, hey, we deprecated that method.
Right.
And what the recipes from the Spring team do, those recipes will replace that deprecated method with the new preferred method
Yeah.
without changing the way your code behaves.
Right.
That's the other piece is you don't want to have something that's changing your code and changing how it behaves. So your tests fail. You don't want to have that. So our recipes are looking over your code and your tests and making the changes that need to happen, but your code will still work the same.
Right.
So you
Right.
get all the benefits of the new, fast, better performant security and
Right.
all the patches. You can get all of that benefit without having to go and rework things.
And so it's possible to do this by hand. Certainly, we publish details about all this.
It is possible to do
Yeah.
it by hand. And this is another fun thing. There are tools out there. I always talk about SonarQube.
Yeah.
SonarQube has a plugin that'll tell you how it'll analyze just static analysis, look at your code, and it'll say, here's how much debt you have.
Oh.
And here's how long it would take one full-time engineer to fix all this debt manually. And it'll give you a nice number. You can fine tune it, but it gives you a number. And it is amazing to see some of the numbers that teams have in that SonarQube plugin.
Does it register like JSPs as debt, or what does it include?
It does its best, right? Static
Yeah.
analysis, and it's got its own metrics, its own things built into it.
Yeah.
And yeah, then sometimes we get to see those numbers fall, right? After they start using the advisor, we get to see those numbers drop
Yeah.
significantly, going from 10 years down to 2 months.
Yeah.
Going from, we had one team
Yeah.
that shared that their technical debt report was in the order of developer millennia.
Okay.
Developer millennia. Because if it were done manually, it would take hundreds of years for them to do it.
I something about Windows ME. Remember that Windows Millennia? And that was actually quite terrible. I wonder where that would fall.
I forgot that was.
You memory hold it, didn't you? I knew it.
Windows ME, I remember, but I didn't realize it was Windows Millennia.
Wasn't that what it was? I thought it was.
Maybe
It came out like right around the turn of the Millennia, right?
Windows ME, I definitely remember. I don't think I ever installed it, but I definitely remember it.
I'm gonna ask the AI because I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought maybe I hallucinated that. Who knows? I've got nothing.
Yes.
Really? Millennium? No, I got it wrong.
Millennium
Edition. It was not quite Millennium. It was Millennium Edition, which does sound better.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it was notoriously unstable, prone to constant freezing, and plagued by the infamous blue screen of death. So,
Yeah.
I just remember it's something about what you just said. So, developer millennia it would take to fix
Millennia.
the issues that plague that code base. I don't want to be there. Not excited about being in that code base. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I can't write new code knowing that this is going to fall apart at the slightest gust of wind.
That's the other metric that I lean into. Like,
Sleep.
how are you sleeping? Right?
Sleep.
How is your CISO's sleep score?
Right.
Right. When they see the reports from your repositories, when they see your technical debt, are they sleeping okay?
Yeah.
Right. Like, do you care about your CISO? Do you care about your customers? That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Is I can talk about Spring and I want these workloads to be patched, but there's always more to the story, right? There's always customers, and a lot of the teams that we work with, I'm their customer too. So I care.
Yeah.
But
there's an invested interest in making this stuff work.
But these CVEs, why we're getting so many more of them because of AI, because of all these tools that we have.
Yeah.
And the AI is getting better, and now they're able to chain these CVEs. So the scores, the way that these things are scored, the CVSS score, it almost seems weird or invalid, or it needs to be reworked in some way, because a 2 on a CVSS score in an app combined with a 4 in your container, well, that might be the exploit. That might be fully exploitable, making it a 10. So these CVSS scores and the ability of these LLMs to chain these CVEs together and find vulnerabilities across multiple CVEs, that's been the big difference.
Right.
So the urgency that I'm pushing, that I think leadership is pushing and security community is pushing, is getting these things patched as fast as possible, because as soon as those CVEs drop, a lot of times there's exploits within the hour.
Yeah.
And I remember doing the dance where I had to do my own Docker files, and oh, hey, a new version of Spring Boot, I had to go and do this dance. And what I see now, what is capable now, and what is being done. If I put orgs in good, better, and best, what is being done by the best teams in some of these orgs is they're waking up and they're just getting a report that says, hey, this CVE was there, or this pull request was generated for you.
Right.
We validated it already. It's just waiting for your approval.
Just take a look.
Yeah.
Run
it's ready to go to main.
Validate and
but we've already ran the test, the smoke test, integration test, end-to-end test. We just like your blessing. We're not going to push it.
No.
We just like somebody to push the merge button. And they're able to do it with thousands of repositories at a time.
Daily.
Because the validation of these things, right? That depending on what you're doing, if you don't have tests, you want somebody to go and eyeball it. The validation takes time. When we're delivering more software to production every day, and some orgs are now on that hiring uptick because there is more code to maintain. But the automation is trying to do as much as possible. Say, hey, here's the PR. We validated it. Give it some eyeballs. Still have a person in the loop, but take it to production. And that consistency, after you've seen the same PR over 20 repositories, there's a little bit of confidence there.
Yeah, because
it's the exact same diff across 20 repositories, so you can feel confident going forward.
Yeah, and this is powerful.
And what I'm trying to do, what I'm hoping, if there's anything that I want to do in this little session right now, is I want to encourage you to look at deterministic automation, consistent upgrades, because if you got more than 5 repositories,
and you do, by the way.
Most of you do.
I mean, it may not be what's on your IDE right now. You may not have it cloned right now. I'll bet your organization has more than 5.
And a lot of orgs are still convinced that they can grab one of these LLMs, Frontier or otherwise, and they can say, hey, go upgrade this thing. And when they do that for anything more than one, they're going to get different results.
And it decays, didn't you?
And it decays.
Talk about
and
that.
It becomes, there's Alibaba did a nice white paper on it to this idea that it'll work. Yes, you'll get the first upgrade done because the LLM is going to make it sure it gets done, and it's going to check, and all your tests are going to pass. But then the second time, because you've added so much code just to do that upgrade, the second time it's going to take a little bit more, a few more tokens to do it. And each of your repositories that you used AI against, they're going to look a little bit different. And the decisions that they made to do the upgrade are going to be a little bit different. There's not going to be the consistency. So the time that you're going to spend doing the review and validating those code, it's going to look very, very different.
Yeah.
And the further you get away, the more risky it gets, to the point in Alibaba's white paper, they said after, I think it was 73 commits over 233 days, it was unmaintainable.
God.
Like
from the baseline. Yeah.
From the baseline.
And that's very different from the situation you find yourself in with
so the cool thing is I'm going to use May because we started traveling at the beginning of the month. In May, I was working with companies, teams, orgs that I had been working with for years. And every once in a while we get a report that says, hey, we've got 9,000 repositories using Spring running in production. And last May, we had some of these teams that were reporting, hey, we had 9,000. And then this May, right, they're now up to 10 or 15, right? We're seeing year over year, there is more software running in production. But luckily, the teams that I'm engaged with, I'm giving them this automation, giving them this path so that they can go forward with confidence. It's okay to add more features and capabilities when you're maintaining the stuff that you're building on top of.
Right.
And that's...
Emmanuel asks, do you have any tool recommendations for AI automatic CVEs correction? That's the point. Don't use AI. Yeah, please don't. Use something deterministic. We're talking about Advisor, Open Rewrite. We're talking about our coin. There's so many options out there. Pick something. We like Advisor.
Here's what I'm going to say. Most projects that you're using, if they are delivering CVEs, if they're publishing CVEs, they should be publishing patches. So before I say, hey, go use AI for automatic CVE, upgrade. Use a Dependabot. Use a Renovate. Use a Arconia. Get support. Use the Spring Application Advisor. Get these things upgraded automatically, consistency across all of your repositories.
CVEs are even published.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the big benefit.
Yeah. You do a demo, which I love. You have just one starter, Spring Boot starter actuator.
Yes.
Which is just one of the smallest little components. Yeah. You start at 2.7.
It also has web. It has web. So I can start up
Okay.
I can sort up the
And you run our advisor against it. How many CVs do we have at the
uh,
beginning in
so
2026?
when I started doing this demo at the beginning of the year, it had 88. And this is on Spring Boot 2.6, which has
Right.
been out of support for a long time.
Right.
And now that same demo has 95 at the baseline because it's out of date and it's an old thing, there's still CDs being found in old software, right? And just because you think, oh, well, this is too old, nobody's targeting this. Yeah, they are. Because we find something in the new, a lot of times it's still in the old, like the FreeBSD bug
Right.
that
That's been
existed
there
for 20 years.
25.
Right?
Is it 20 plus years?
20 plus years.
Incredible. Like there, but for the grace of the compiler, did nobody find that in that time? But it's
Yeah.
they could have, and that could have been a big issue, you know.
So upgrade. And can I rant for just 1 sec?
If you don't, I will.
Here's the thing. There's a lot of talk about AI and going back and, oh, I can stay on this version and I'll fork it. I'll maintain it myself.
Yeah.
I will fork Spring Boot 2.6 and I'll maintain it and I'll deliver that to my company.
Is that a thing?
That is a thing.
No, that's not. Is it?
It is a thing.
Oh,
so
horrific.
Or they'll have some other third party that'll go and say, hey, we'll keep you on Spring Boot 2.6 and you stay here. And people are paying for that.
No, thank you.
The other part of the demo that we talk about, like this idea of, okay, I'm going to pay to be stuck on something old and outdated.
No, thank you.
While Emmanuel is going to go and upgrade. He's going to go and take the new versions and he's going to spend some time. But what Emmanuel gets, let's say over the next year, what Emmanuel gets compared to the person that didn't do the upgrade and paid to stick on something old, Emmanuel also gets all the new features.
Yeah.
He gets all the new benefits. Emmanuel gets to use Spring AI 2.0, which was also released last week. Yeah. Emmanuel gets to use Java 26 and all of its new features and all of its better garbage collection, etc. Yeah. Emmanuel's getting better performance and better memory usage. So Emmanuel's company that is doing all these upgrades, yes, they're paying to do the upgrades. They're putting some automation in place, but they are getting all this additional benefit back. They're also getting, with the security, with all the other things, they're also getting eventually a lower cost of operation.
Huge.
Because when I'm going from Java 8 to Java 26,
yeah,
I get better memory usage. I get faster startup times. When I'm going from Spring Boot 2.6 to Spring Boot 4.1, I get better startup times. I get AOT caching. I get to enable virtual threads. I get better utilization of my data center or of my cloud, or even if it's what's the VPS, Little Cloud, DigitalOcean.
Yeah.
Right. Even on a DigitalOcean, like, hey, I've got my own little bucket here. Even on those things, I'm getting better utilization. I can deliver more software on the same infrastructure. I get a better return on investment.
Love that.
So that's the big difference. And that's one of the things that I'm also facing. The AI thing kind of plays into both of those conversations, but get on the latest and greatest.
And actually, I guess that is, like, I wouldn't recommend using AI for getting into the latest and greatest. But in the scheme of things, if you're getting to the latest and greatest, and that's the only way you've got to get there, it's better than the alternative, which is staying where you are. So priority number one, get to where you need to get. Priority number two, do it as automatically and cleanly as possible. The other thing is, you mentioned the cost, right? Obviously, what is that? You do this demo with just one starter and web.
Yep.
And it's like almost 50% less RAM.
From 2.6 on Java 8 to Java 21, not even to 25, to Java 20 without
6.
Yeah, without virtual threads or anything. None of the other buttons or bells or whistles. It was, it's oftentimes somewhere in between 40 and 50% just by doing the upgrade.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and that's just a basic demo, right? A lot of times we're seeing 60, 70%, when you get through the upgrades. 60 to 70%.
Yeah. I love that, and I love that you mentioned it, because again, that RAM is real money.
That's real
right
money.
You can deploy 2 instances of the same service now and load balance for the cost of 1 before.
Yeah, and your investment in RAM, what you had invested in RAM last year is now worth twice as much.
Right. And by the way, if you're talking about the AI approach, the token apocalypse seems like it's upon us now. Metered token consumption.
That's the other kind of big thing that's happening right now.
Not a fixed cost anymore, is it?
Was that on Friday where we had the U.S. government said, "Hey, we're gonna pull these back, and you can't use these," and things are changing quite a bit.
Oh yeah, no, I was talking about using it to automatic migrate. Yeah.
And all that, right?
Oh, yeah.
When these things are changing, that AI token economy that we were kind of hoping and betting on yeah, it's moving.
Yeah.
It's a moving target. Somebody moved the cheese, and it seems to get moved every other week. It used to be we get a new model every other week, and now we kind of have a new target. They move the cheese every other week.
Oh, but I do love cheese.
I do love cheese.
So anyway, it's a. I guess what I'm trying to say. I guess what Spring Boot 4.1 is here. Start that Spring.io. All your new greenfield projects, you should be using. Start that Spring.io. You'll get the right thing.
Yeah.
But that's not the very large majority of the code ever written.
For everybody that's already running Spring Boot 4.1 in production,
bravo, well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. What took you so long?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, that's but the rest of you, please get there. Especially there, you go to spring.io/security, and you'll see all the CV the.
Oh, we should say this.
Yeah.
If you're on Spring Boot 3.0,
Mhm.
no longer supported. 3.1, no longer supported. 3.2 is no longer supported. 3.5 support is ending at the end of this month. So if you're open source, you're using Spring, there's a predictable schedule for when support comes and goes.
Yeah.
And yeah, so use these tools. Find a way to get to at least 4.0. And yeah, then 4.1.
Yeah.
Get to the latest versions.
So good. And you can see the support lifetime for open source support, or if you want to, you can pay us to support you on an old version. But don't do that. We don't want you to pay us to do. We want you to pay us to help you get to the new version
and stay on the new version.
Stay on the new version. That's way more valuable to everybody to do that. So spring.io/projects, and then look at, like, for example, spring.io/projects/spring-boot. You can see the support windows there in green. That's the open source. The yellow
hashtag support.
Yeah,
it'll take you right to that support
right
there.
window. For each project, you can look at that too.
The idea of, hey, patch Tuesday. Well, we're just going to patch every week.
Yeah,
we're gonna do that. Patch Tuesday is too long. This idea that, like, hey, if I put a CV out on Wednesday, and you're not going to patch it until Tuesday,
next 6 days later.
Do you know how many bad actors are just licking their chops? They're like, sweet, they only patch on Tuesdays. I got a whole week to go and do my deeds. That's not good. The policies that are out there are not good enough. This process needs to be continuously done. It has to be continuous patching, continuous migrating. When Spring Boot 4.1 comes, right, we have teams that they got a bunch of PRs.
Yeah. Hey,
here's how to upgrade it. And they're not all going to go get merged at the same time, but they got a bunch of PRs. Those are being validated. They are ready to go as soon as it goes.
And I like to imagine at some point the volume is going to go down, because there's only so, we're not writing code with more bugs, on purpose. They come rarely, but with a code base as old as Spring's, it's possible to have a good many sort of, like, again, we don't have any, like, there's some, I guess, but we have a lot of small ones that, when chained together, it can be an issue.
The volume's going to go down, but it doesn't matter if it's 100
you just need
on the day or one.
Yeah, just need one.
The deal is, when one CV drops for what you're running anywhere in your stack, you've got to patch it quickly.
Yeah,
that's the new game,
the new norm.
Yep,
100%. This is one of those things where I think we're going to see a lot of. I think right now we are kind of on the leading edge of this space, at least in the Java ecosystem, because of the tooling and the sort of focus there. But this reminds me of the sort of, like, what is it? Agile for security, the agility thing is super important. It's a differentiator, especially in an age of agile threat, right? Like,
I coming into this team. Thank you for bringing me to the team.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
I came into this team writing open rewrite, and this idea of we could upgrade software fast. We could be on N-0 as much as possible.
Yes, please.
But I had that for my platform.
Mm-hmm.
I had that for Cloud Foundry.
Yeah.
I had this ability where, hey, a new CV comes out, I got a new stem cell, and I was able to roll that stem cell out, and my infrastructure is getting patched.
Right. And your build packs and everything,
and production was up. It wasn't a big deal. Concourse was doing the thing, and just kind of roll it. I had regions. Hey, send traffic. We saw Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah.
Flip the switch and switch things while everybody's hitting refresh on their thing.
Right.
That idea, we've been doing that for years.
Huge fan.
And we have it for our containers.
Yeah.
So it seemed odd that the infrastructure had it figured out.
Continuous mitigation.
Containers had it figured out before the app layers, but I get it. I'm also a developer.
But I would also say I don't think most infrastructure had it figured out. I think Cloud Foundry.
Cloud Foundry, yeah.
Yeah. But when you say
The people that we sit with at lunch.
right, the platform store we've bet on for so many decades now.
Yeah.
But again, I think a lot of people are still writing Docker files. We don't like that.
No.
Don't like people running their own operating systems and trying to patch that with the
if you get a chance,
mutable infrastructure.
If you get a chance to check out the Spring Boot plugin and do Spring Boot build image.
Oh yeah.
To give yourself an OCI container that is good, and then run Tribby or Aqua or Black Duck. Run a scan against the container that you built last. Then take that same Spring Boot app, run Maven's Spring Boot build image, and do a scan against that and see which one has more CVs.
Yeah, I think you'll like the results.
I think
that is if you're planning on switching to our plugin.
You might get embarrassed, but I'm not doing it for shame. I'm doing it to help.
Yeah.
Right?
Honest antiseptic sort of
if you can be somebody that finds joy in finding, I found a better way, then take that first.
Yeah, you're gonna enjoy it. It's free. It's
there. It's
like, when's your birthday? This is an early gift.
Yes.
I don't know. I think we did it. I think we got there. Okay, if we weren't clear, upgrade. Just please. It's like it's
upgrade now. Upgrade often,
forever.
Continuously, all the time. All the things.
We have to figure out the acronyms.
Yeah.
Continuous upgrading. CU doesn't sound great.
I was doing continuous remediation, continuous migration, and then continuous modernization comes in because it's not just Spring, right? There's all of the other things in your stack, right? That you've got to do this same thing with. And if you've got Tanzu platforms, you've got Cloud Foundry under there, that's already getting taken care of, right? If you have any of the Tanzu products, those updates are coming in. It's automatic.
Yeah.
But yeah, you want to do it for all the things, whether you're using Angular or React. Get the upgrades, get on the latest version. That's an important posture. That automation has to be in place.
Sure.
I remember we talked about the infrastructure as code,
right,
being such a big deal. Like, I want to be able to stand up and tear down and undo the automation. I want to be able to patch all the things that I've got running my entire stack automatically. That's the automation that I'm going after right now.
That's the win.
Yeah.
Thanks for the nice comment there. We appreciate you. Look, I'm going to ask all my guests. I always ask all my guests on this little podcast of mine. DaShaun, are you on the internet?
I am on the internet.
Do you want to be found? And if so, where can people find you? You
can find me and all of my links at DaShaun.com. DASHAUN.com.
All right. I'll go. I'll be there. And everybody else, you get there too. Sean, thank you.
This is great. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care.
Goodbye.